My name is Natalie, and for 15 years, I thought I knew what loyalty looked like. My best friend, Kayla, was closer to me than anyone. She was the sister I never had. But betrayal doesn't always come from strangers. Sometimes, it comes from the people you trust most. And in my case, it came dressed in perfume, with a smile, and heels too high for someone just dropping by. This is the story of how I caught my best friend secretly dancing for my husband, and how I made sure she would never forget what she did. But what I did in return. You won't believe it. Don't scroll away, because this story is about to take a wild turn. Jason and I had been married for 4 years. He was charming, responsible, and until recently, he made me feel like I was the luckiest woman alive. Kayla had been in our lives from the start. She introduced us, actually. At the time, I thought it was just another reason to love her. But in hindsight, I wonder if she'd planned it all along. The little signs began subtly. Jason smiling at texts more than usual. Kayla showing up unannounced more often. Her clothes became a little more revealing. She'd laugh too hard at his jokes. Sit a little too close on the couch. I told myself I was overthinking. That I was being paranoid. But then I overheard something that shattered the illusion completely. One night, I came downstairs and heard Kayla giggling. "You know she doesn't appreciate you like I do," she said. Jason replied, "Don't say that." But he didn't sound angry. He sounded conflicted. That was the night I started to pay attention. And what I found hurt more than I ever imagined. And yet, it was only the beginning. Stick around. The real betrayal is coming. One Tuesday afternoon, I left work early. Jason had called in sick, and Kayla said she was going to check on him. My stomach dropped. Something told me to go home quietly. I parked 2 houses down. Entered through the side gate. The music coming from the living room was soft, sultry. I crept toward the doorway and peeked inside. And there she was. Dancing. Not playfully. Not jokingly. But seductively. For my husband. Jason sat there on the couch. Watching her. Frozen. Not stopping her. Not calling out. I stepped back before they saw me. My chest tight, hands shaking. But I didn't cry. Not then. I had a better idea. You won't believe how far I went to expose them. Keep watching, because things are about to explode. I didn't confront them that night. Instead, I waited. I invited Kayla over that Friday. Told her Jason and I were going through a rough patch and I needed my best friend. She agreed instantly. Then I called her parents. Mr. and Mrs. Jennings had always liked me. I told them I had something serious to discuss, and I needed them to come to my house at 8:30 p.m. sharp. I didn't give details, just that it was urgent and about Kayla. They were confused, but they came. And I made sure they would see everything. I was about to turn the tables in a way no one expected. What happened next shocked everyone in the room, especially Kayla. Kayla arrived dressed like she was going clubbing. She hugged me, smiled, poured wine like nothing had happened. We chatted, laughed, and I pretended everything was fine. Then I dared her. "You know what? Jason's been so stressed lately. Why don't you do that dance you showed him the other day? You know, the one from the living room?" Her eyes widened for a second. But then, she smirked. Like she was proud of it. "If you say so," she whispered, flipping her hair. As she walked down the hallway toward my bedroom, I sent a quick text. "Come in." Quietly. And seconds later, her parents walked into the house. And then, the most humiliating moment of her life unfolded. You won't believe who broke the silence first. Keep watching. We stood just outside the bedroom door. The music played. Kayla was mid-dance when Mrs. Jennings let out a loud, shocked gasp. Kayla and Jennings. Kayla turned. Her face drained of color. Jason scrambled to his feet, stunned and shirtless. Mom? Dad? What are you doing here? Mrs. Jennings was in tears. Her father couldn't even speak. He just stared at his daughter like he didn't recognize her. I stepped forward and said, "Now they know who you really are." Kayla stormed out, humiliated. Her parents followed, still in disbelief. But the aftermath? That was even more dramatic. What happened between Jason and me afterward will blow your mind. Jason tried to explain. He said he was caught off guard, that he never touched her. That it meant nothing. But betrayal isn't about what you do with your hands. It's about what you allow. What you don't stop. I filed for divorce the next week. Kayla called, crying. Apologizing. I never answered. Her parents later wrote me a letter, thanking me for telling them the truth. They were ashamed of her. Said she needed help. But Kayla wasn't done trying to make things right, and what she did next was shocking. Coming up, the message she sent that left me speechless. It took months to feel like myself again. But slowly, I started to heal. I joined a women's support group. Focused on my career. Took a solo vacation for the first time in my life. And I learned something valuable. When someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Kayla wasn't my sister. Jason wasn't my soulmate. They were just lessons. Painful ones. But necessary. Now, I'm not bitter. I'm better. And if I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change a thing. Because that moment, when Kayla saw her parents watching her from the doorway, that was the real performance. And the final act. But what if Kayla's not the only one who had secrets? Subscribe to hear what I uncovered about Jason months after the divorce. If you've ever been betrayed by someone close, let this be a reminder. You deserve loyalty. You deserve truth. And if someone breaks that trust, you have every right to expose the lie. Sometimes, revenge doesn't need anger. Just an audience. If this story resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more shocking true stories. Comment below. What would you have done in my shoes?